Good morning, everybody. Nate Eaton here in the eastidahonews.com newsroom. We have a sad update to the story that has made national headlines over the past few days. You've probably seen the photo of this bison calf in Yellowstone. We broke the story here on eastidahonews.com on Saturday morning. Two tourists were in the park. They saw this bison calf. They thought that it was cold and that it was lost, so they put the animal in their vehicle, their rental car, and then they drove the vehicle to a park ranger's station and told the park ranger that the animal needed help. Well, the park rangers then ticketed the two tourists and then had them drive the animal back as the park rangers followed, and they put the animal back out in the wild. We have just learned that rangers have had to euthanize the bison. According to a news release received from Yellowstone National Park, I'm quoting here, they talk about what happened, and they said, in terms of human safety, this was a dangerous activity because adult animals are very protective of their young and will act aggressively to defend them. In addition, interference by people can cause mothers to reject their offspring. In this case, park rangers tried repeatedly to reunite the newborn bison calf with the herd. These efforts failed. The bison calf was later euthanized because it was abandoned and caused a dangerous situation by continually approaching people and cars along the roadway. Obviously a very serious situation. This animal had to be put down because of the interaction with those tourists. Wildlife officials also remind people that approaching wild animals can drastically affect their well-being, as is obvious in this case, and their survival. Park regulations require that you stay at least 25 yards away from all wildlife, including bison, elk, and deer, and at least 100 yards away from bears and wolves. Disregarding these regulations can result in fines. And we do know that the two tourists who were from another country, we're not sure where, we haven't been told where, they did receive a fine, they were ticketed, and now this bison has had to be put down. In case you are just joining us here on this live Facebook newscast, we have learned that the bison in this photo, this is a somewhat humorous photo, has had to be euthanized because the herd rejected the animal once it was placed back with them early on Saturday morning. Now, we have a lot more coming up later on here today on eastidahonews.com, including the latest from the Yellowstone wildlife officials, and we will also speak with the woman who actually saw this photo, who actually was there when all of this happened. We'll have that later on eastidahonews.com. Of course, we will include a link in the comments section and on the description of this video where you can read the very latest.